Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. Today we have a release from Lucid Eye, and I keep meaning to do more Lucid Eye models. And this one, I mean, honestly and truly, I could not resist. It's actually a licensed edition of Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. So I'm sure if you grew up in the 70s or 80s, you are more than familiar with this stuff. I remember when Danzig's, what was it, Verotik, his short-lived comic company, had Simon Bisley and a couple of other big-name artists. I think Liam Sharp drew comic versions of the Death Dealer and were quite neat. So I remember those quite fondly, as well as Frazetta's art, obviously. And I was definitely interested in checking it out. So I'm going to say it's based on this painting. We've got the body of the Death Dealer on a 40mm base, a nice scenic rock for him to be standing on top of, and I'm assuming his axe and head are in here. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any bodies to cleave below him, but I guess if you're into, building dioramas and stuff, that is something that is easily fixed. Cloak, check. Big axe, check. Death Dealer head that is hidden by flash as I drop something else. Check. You're not a dealer of death, you are the legit Death Dealer. And then a sword hanging off a chain. Curious how big you are, my friend. How tall are you? Where is our usual witch hunter friend? He's here somewhere. I just don't know where. There you are. You're hanging out with Romans and Riot Quest models. Okay, good. I was hoping he's going to be a little bit taller than the average human. Now, obviously, he does look like he's going to be more true scale. And funny enough, I'd always thought he had a very long-handled axe, but I guess not. It's just a regular axe that he's holding in a two-handed grip. Okay. And then where's the cloak going to go? I'm not sure. Here, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to come off like that. This is going to be an interesting one to paint. I think if you're into doing more scenic diorama-like figures, I think you can definitely make something with this. And I know there's actually quite a few others. There's at least 2 or 3 other Death Dealer figures that they have made. Obviously, one with the iconic version of him on the horse, and one with the typical naked Frazetta girl pointing a sword or something. I mean, there's like a million of those. Anyway, give me a chance to get him put together, and we will see just how our Dealer of Death turns out. All right, we went ahead and attempted to put our Death Dealer all together here. Attempted because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I got things in the right spot. The only thing that really threw me off was the chain for the sword is just in that one spot, and which angle his head's supposed to go, but I think it works. Obviously, he's a little top-heavy, so he did not want to actually just stay on his little scenic dioramic base there, which I like. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do this guy any justice paint-wise. I mean, obviously, it's not going to look like a Frazetta painting, unfortunately. I like the sculpt. I think out of the available options they have from their Frazetta line, I think this is my favorite of the bunch. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the mounted version. I mean, to me, that's like the most iconic. This is pretty close, though. If you're curious how large he is a little bit bigger, but the proportions are much more realistic. Much more true scale style. I guess the only disappointment is he's not, like, even bigger and larger than life on a 40mm base. So, I mean, I think he'd look a little anemic compared to modern day Chaos Warriors if you wanted to have him running with some old school stuff. I think that might work out pretty well. Actually, I'm thinking like some of the smaller scale stuff. One of Colossal Miniatures, lizard men hanging around there. Actually, they might make good opponents for him to fight. He can stand heroically on his base, slaughtering their scaly hides. Honestly, definitely a cool and interesting take on a illustration classic. We'll put a link down below. I don't think Lucid Eyes models are the easiest stuff to come by, especially in the States. I know there are a few distributors out there, so if you want to take a look for any of these, we'll put a link down there below. I've ordered from them a couple of times, and I got to say, at least pre-COVID, it was pretty quick in terms of things getting to me, so I couldn't complain too much. I guess with some historicals, he's really going to be towering over them. Not in the kisser. Looks like he's going to tip over. I don't know if it's just the angle of the camera. He's like looking like he's kind of flat, but he's not a very flat model necessarily. His body's a bit stiff, but then again, that's more, I think, just the angle of everything. I don't know. I'll let you make of it what you will. Anyways, with that all said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.